Do you know that feeling when you look at something and you have to look again just to make sure your eyes aren't broken? One lonely Sunday evening a few weeks ago, I took a trip to my local video store to pick up some light entertainment, and I was perusing the family DVD entertainment aisle amongst the likes of The Lion King, Toy Story, Bambi, Cat Shit 1, Dumbo. What? Cat Shit 1. At first I thought there'd been a monumental cock-up at the DVD manufacturing plant, but no. And as I stood there holding the DVD with a mixture of excitement, bewilderment and surprise, I knew one thing. I had to rent that DVD. There are two interesting things about Cat Shit 1. The first is that, ironically, there's an absence of shit. It's actually quite good. And the second is there's an absence of cats as well, because it's about two bunny rabbits, one of which is called Packy, that go around shooting camels that are playing the Taliban. But if the name, the premise or the characters aren't a crime in themselves, just for being a complete and utter mindfuck, and quite frankly, I don't know what is. Amongst the most common questions I've got from people back home or outside of Japan are, is Japan safe? Is there crime in Japan? And have you got a Japanese girlfriend yet? And it's those first two questions today that I want to address and talk about. And to those people that say I've been eating unhealthily by seeing some past videos, well look, there's a basket of fruit on my table. How can I possibly be eating unhealthily? You don't get a fine figure like this without sticking to your vitamin C. And of course, enjoying the fine taste of sea chicken. Let's enjoy cooking with sea chicken. Yeah, thought I'd get that out of the way. First time I realised things were a bit different here was on a trip to the local convenience store to pick up some fried chicken, to pick up some apples and various other fruits. And as I stood there in the car park locking my car, like you do, I noticed that a lot of the other cars in the car park were still running. Not only that, but the drivers were all inside the store, shopping. And not just for a quick box of Crunky, they'd gone in for a full-blown shopping trip. It was a bit cold, so I could understand why they might leave their cars running. But for 15 to 20 minutes unattended with the key still in the ignition, I mean, in the UK that would take more balls than a metaphorical bullpit or unwavering stupidity. I mean, it's a strange experience to be the only one in the car park locking your car, feeling like a bit of a paranoid fool. That degree of trust is something I haven't really come across before. The biggest crime in Japan is bike theft. For every 100,000 bikes, 6.6 get stolen and 3.3 are returned because the police are that good. And I, of course, don't have to worry about this because I'm the proud owner of the world's crappiest bike. If I was to actually cycle it, I would almost certainly die. I mean, I went to unlock it and the key got bloody stuck. You've seen the film Sword in the Stone. Somebody, if you can pull the key out of the bike lock, let me know, and you can have the bike. But you're not going to want the bike at all. In fact, I should probably just throw it away. I don't know why I've got that bike. I think the only time I've ever been worried was when I was standing at Haneda airport and I noticed a Japanese man with a perplexed look on his face staring at my jeans, kind of making his way towards me. And so I kind of turned the other way. And then I felt a hand on my leg, and then noise, and I spun round, and he was standing there with a sticker saying medium size 34, which he had pulled off the back of my trousers because I had left them there from the day before when I bought them. I was pretty grateful to the man and safe in the knowledge that if I ever want to be touched by a Japanese person, all I've got to do is stick a load of stickers to myself, bumble around an airport like a bloody idiot for 2 hours. Even the most dangerous places are quite safe. Usually when you hear most dangerous, it means don't bloody go there. For example, the one that usually tops the list is a place called Kabukicho, which is in Tokyo. It's a huge entertainment district, many bars, but it's also one of the world's biggest red light districts. And somewhere I've had the pleasure, or misfortune, of visiting when I went to Robot Restaurant, which is more or less in the heart of Kabukicho. Somebody told me of their friend who was led into a bar, charged the gross domestic product of Somalia for a beer, and after refusing to pay, he was found later in an alleyway with his arm facing the wrong way. But it's a red light district. It's not the Sinbad Storybook Voyage ride at Disneyland Tokyo. Bad things are supposed to happen, as long as you avoid the Muppets standing in the street trying to drag you off to a cheap bar with cheap shots and free drinks. You'll be alright. Truth be told, the only time Tokyo would feel sinister is if you were listening to the Matrix soundtrack at Shibuya Crossing. But it doesn't sound like that, it sounds more like
I'm gonna film it, cause I'm a tourist.
It would be incredibly naive of me to say that there is no crime. There's definitely crime. Last year there were 1.3 million crimes reported. But again, that's not bad for a country with 130 million people, and certainly when compared to other westernised developed nations. People have a greater sense of discipline. One thing that always gets me is when I see people standing at a road crossing waiting for the man to turn to green so they can cross the road. But even when there's no cars in visible sight at all on the road, they don't cross, they wait. Whereas in other countries, and certainly in the UK, as long as there's no cars, people just cross the road. And as Japan is one of the most homogeneous countries in the world, those cultural aspects and discipline and the collectivist mindset are retained quite nicely across the country. The only real crime that exists that I've come across is the little things. I mean, I get my bills and they come with a Winnie the Pooh sticker on, right? To lure you into a false sense of security. Oh, it's Winnie the Pooh, but no it's not, it's a bill, isn't it? Every time. Surely it's a crime to sell cheese so rarely that it's on par with unobtainium to actually get hold of, and when you do, it's in quantities so small and tiny, but so expensive that to actually buy this stuff would cause you bankruptcy. Surely it's a crime to sell strawberries and cream in a sandwich, which you will obviously and inevitably become addicted to and eat on an almost daily basis. Or have to have a kitchen so small you have to use an ironing board to prepare your evening meals. These are the real crimes in Japan, the little things, the bad things, the delicious, tasty... oh shit. Oh god. It's so good though. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. Whoever thought strawberries and cream in a sandwich is a bloody genius. It's just so clever.